want to make something old look new again, and other times we want to bring that vintage vibe into our space. Here with DIYs to get that old world charm is Leigh-Ann Allaire Perrault. Hey, Leigh-Ann! How's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
I am doing really well. I'm very excited about today's DIY.
Well, you and me both.
Yes.
Yes.
Always thrilled, always thrilled. So you're going to show us how to get like 3 different ways, DIY tricks, to get kind of that rustic charm, but on a little bit a dime.
Yeah, you don't have to spend a ton of money to have that kind of old money style in your home.
Yeah.
And I love introducing any vintage looking antiques because it just creates a really storied look to your space.
Totally.
And adds like a little bit of character. So I went out on a little shopping excursion and bought all new. I did a little like dollar store diving.
Yes.
I found a few little tchotchkes here. A lot of them in just a natural wood finish, some metal, some concrete, but I want to show you on the opposite side of the table that I redid every single piece. We've got everything from a little copper patina to weathered wood to even the look of a hand-painted inlay.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna show you how to make every single one of those.
Okay.
And I can't stress enough, easy, easy, easy. This is for the novice DIYer.
See, this is the thing. This is for the beginners like me. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let's start off with that aged copper look, because that one's so fancy.
So let me tell you, I took this plastic little flower pot and turned it into this.
Oh, cute.
With a few very simple steps using the Modern Masters Copper Patina kit. So I love a good kit because it comes with everything you need. You don't need to give any more thought. And what you're gonna do with this kit is start by doing 2 coats of primer. So you can see the primer is in this kind of like rustic color here.
Yeah.
It dries really, really quick, about 30 minutes in between coats. And then this finish here, this is actually copper paint, and not just copper colored paint. This paint has copper in it.
Oh, cool.
And it has that for a very specific reason, because once we have this painted, we spray this oxidizing spray on there, and that it reacts with the metal in the paint to create this beautiful verdigris kind of patina look.
So you're like literally getting a patina.
Literally getting a real copper patina, but we're mimicking the look of what would take years in a matter of minutes.
100%. We're getting the Statue of Liberty immediately. Yeah.
So we're actually gonna try this. And if the DIY gods are on our side, by the end of the segment, we're gonna see the copper patina. So I put 1 coat, and you can see that I brushed the copper paint on here, but I'm going to do a 2nd coat, and I'm going to just kind of model the paint on here with a brush. This almost helps to give it that hammered natural copper look.
Yeah.
Now you would put the 2nd coat on the entire surface. We're not gonna do the entire surface here. I'm just gonna get the front done. Because we want to spray this oxidizing spray while the paint is wet. So I'm gonna hold this to the side, and you're gonna give it a little boosh boosh.
That's good.
And we're just gonna let that sit, and we're gonna stay tuned and see what happens.
Okay, this is like a reveal.
Yes.
Yeah, a copper
Fingers crossed.
reveal. Fantastic. Okay, so moving on, we are gonna talk about, you mentioned paint inlay.
Yes. Okay, so paint inlays is an actual product that I found from a company called Iron Orchid Designs. They come on these sheets. Now, I saw these, you have no idea yet. Just wait until you see. I saw these sheets, and immediately I knew exactly what I wanted to do with them. When I was making over our primary bedroom, I had dreams of a beautiful antique Parisian armoire, but I did not have the bank account. So I started with this really clunky dark brown armoire that we already had.
A classic.
You know what? It's classic, and it was functional. Like, there was absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I wanted that Parisian look, so I painted everything out in chalked paint, and then using these transfer sheets with this paint inlay, I basically pressed down these sheets, and it transferred the paint on to make it look like almost a hand-painted toile pattern on it. And just wait until you see the peel and reveal. It's such a beautiful look.
It's almost like it's like a temporary but permanent tattoo for your furniture.
That's exactly what it looks like. And seeing it in tape is one thing, but I thought,
let's give it a go.
Do you want to try it out with me? Okay, because I thought we could show everybody just how easy it is. So again, just like the copper patina, we want to start with a wet finish. So I've got, again, the chalk paint here in a color called Sensible Sage.
So pretty.
And we're just going to roll out 1 really quick coat here. What ends up happening is the paint activates the paint transfer that's on there. I got some little lint. Do as I say, not as I do. Always use painter's tape to delint your roller first.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We'll talk about that on another show.
That's a different show.
So on the paint inlays on the paper. This is actual paint that's all been designed on there. We are going to place this down, and as soon as it hits the surface, it starts to activate, and then I'm gonna give it a quick spritz of
already
water.
this looks so cool, yeah.
Right? So you would give that a good spritz and then let it sit for 24 hours. They say 2 to 3 hours. I think just go, relax, put your feet up, come back the next day.
Okay, fantastic, love it.
So I did this one yesterday. So now we're going to do the opposite again.
This is where it gets scary.
This is, well, for me, scary, exciting, potato.
Totally.
We're going to give this a spritz, and this will just help to release the paper backing. Okay. And I'm gonna spin this here and let you, Mary, do the honor.
It's working, it's working, it's working, it's working. Look at that!
Look at that.
Excuse me. That is beautiful. That is so cool.
So beautiful.
That was fun. I feel very successful.
The one thing I want to say is, yes, you can see the creases of the paper on there. I think it adds to the character.
It almost looks like wallpaper.
But you can just also give it a really light sand down if you want it, and then seal it with a clear protective coat on top to just seal in your chalked paint.
Fantastic. I love that. Okay, now what about like a weathered look? Because we always want our
weathered wood.
I like it when like my floors are a little weathered.
Yes.
My husband wants to refinish them. I like it because I think it gives them character.
Do not refinish.
Yeah.
In fact, people pay so much money for reclaimed barn board to repurpose into furniture pieces and in their decor. You don't have to pay all that money. You can take store-bought pine, for example, and use something called, I discovered this recently and I was like super excited, weathered wood accelerator.
Okay.
So my parents had a white pine bench in the front of their house, and over the course of 5 years, it weathered to the silver color. I replicated the look of 5 years in about 5 minutes.
Nice.
So this is natural pine, and that's the look that we got. They also, I discovered Varathane has one charred wood. Look at this. It looks like you've taken a blowtorch to the wood and given it that beautiful, again, aged look to it. Now, this looks fine, but it's still a little too precious for me, Mary.
Yeah, I agree.
I like things when they're like really like weathered and like you get that look where it's like been in the back of a barn for decades. So this is where you want to take out your aggression. You want to get yourself some paint, perhaps, and give like a couple 1, 2, 3 on the wood to give it some dings. Get yourself a wire brush, go with the grain, and really work some elbow grease in there. This will open up the grain and give some nice notches in there. And then even take some nails and put in
like woodworm
holes. And then once we brush out the wood grain accelerator here, you're gonna let that sit for about, I don't know, 30 minutes. And you will get the look of this.
Look at that. That's stunning. It looks like barn board.
Looks just like barn board.
Wizard.
Yes.
DIY wizard. Now, speaking of you being a DIY wizard, let's take a look at that planter pot and fingers crossed.
Oh, fingers crossed. Oh, we're starting to see.
We're starting.
You see that there's a little green coming in there, and over the next 30 minutes, it will absolutely replicate that look of that patina finish. So this is like a little like magic. You watch the magic happen before your eyes.
The magic happened. Leigh-Ann Allaire Perrault, absolutely fantastic. Great job. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.